Algebra 2 notes concept, 36, law of cosines to solve non-right triangles. So this is going to feel similar to the law of sines in that we're solving a non-right triangle, but the formula is a bit different. So get down the definition of the law of cosines. Is that a formula to solve a non-right triangle when certain information is known? So that certain information would either be the side and the included angle and another side in a triangle, or 3 side lengths. If you know that information for your triangles, then you can solve for the other measurements using the law of sines. So that would look like, let's say if this were side length 10 and this was an angle of 32 degrees and this was 7. So side, angle, side. You'd have enough information to use the law of cosines to solve. Or if you had something like 12, 10, and let's say 13, 3 side lengths, then you can use the law of cosines. Now look in your note sheet about in the middle of the page at the law of cosines. So this is another versatile formula. There are 3 different forms of it that you can use depending on what you're solving for. So you can solve for side length A or B or C. So look at the pattern with me. Side length A squared equals the other 2 lengths squared, B squared plus C squared, minus 2 times those same lengths, B times C, multiplied by the cosine of A. So let's pick out that pattern in our next configuration. So now we've got B squared equals, and then the other 2 side lengths squared, the sum of them, minus 2 times those 2 side lengths, A times C, times the cosine of B. And then you can see the pattern works the same way with side length C. So that's good to know because it makes it easier to memorize that formula. So let's solve some of these. I'm calling this case number 3, which means if we know 2 sides and an included angle, side, angle, side, then we can use the law of cosines. So here we've got this triangle ABC, and this will not be to scale, I'm sure. It is not. So angle C is 141 degrees, A is 3, side B is 2. So notice what we know is side, angle, side. So we can use the law of sines to solve. We are just solving for side length C. So we're going to say C squared equals, and then A squared, which is 3, plus B squared, which is 2, minus 2 times my side length A, which is 3, times B, which is 2, times the cosine of 141 degrees. Now pick up your calculator and put that into your calculator. So I just do it all at once. 3 squared plus 2 squared minus 2 times 3 times 2 times the cosine of 141. All into your calculator. You're going to get 22.32, etc. So do not round. Now take the square root of that. So simply pull up your square root and then pull back that answer using your second and your negative. And now let's round to, let's see, to 2 significant digits, so 4.7. We've got another triangle, so let's do A, B, and C again. C is 35 degrees, side A is 6, side B is 9. So again, we have the side, angle, side. And when we know that information, we have the right information to use the law of sines. So we're solving for side C. So we'll say C squared equals, and then our side length A, which is 6. So 6 squared plus B squared, which is 9, minus 2 times 6 times 9 times the cosine of 35. So you'll get 28.5 something. Take the square root of both sides. So C equals 5.3. It is really important to practice the calculator work here. So if you just wrote down what I was writing and didn't try the calculator work on your own, just press pause, go back to this step, and figure out on your calculator the right side then of the equal sign. Take the square root and make sure that you are able to get that same answer that I did, actually on both of these. All right, case number 4. Now we know 3 side lengths, and I'm not going to draw a picture because that's pretty easy, just we've got side, side, side. But I am going to make a list of what we need to find to solve the triangle, which are all 3 of the angles. All right, so let's just start with angle A. So that means we're going to use the formula with A squared equaling B squared plus C squared minus 2 times 5 times 7. Now here we're going to say the cosine of A. So that's where our variable goes. So now we're just going to work backwards. So we have 9 equals 25 plus 49 minus, and then 2 times 5 is 10 times 7 is 70 times the cosine of A. Now here's what I suggest that you do. So I suggest you subtract your 25 and your 49 and divide by the number in front. And so that just streamlines the math that you have to do to solve these problems. So you will get about 285 equals the cosine of A. Now just like we did with sine, you're going to use your inverse cosine. So you're going to press second and cosine like this, and then you're going to pull back that answer, second and your negative, and that will tell you the angle that has the cosine of 0.285, etc. So rounded to ones place, we've got an angle of 73 degrees, but let me check. Yes, scratch that because I see my mistake and I bet you see it too. I did not subtract that entire 49 over. So 9 minus 25 minus 49 actually gives me negative 65 divided by negative 70. So I do this first. There we go. Now I've got a cosine of 0.928, etc. And then I'll use that inverse cosine function. Pull back that answer. So second cosine, pull back the answer. There we go. So an angle of 22 degrees. All right, now to solve for our second one, let's set up with the law of cosines again. So it's B, so we'll say 5 squared equals 3 squared plus 7 squared minus 2 times 3 times 7, and now we're trying to find the cosine of B. So 25 equals 9 plus 49 minus 42, multiplying those together. Now remember how I suggested. So first, you're going to take 25 and then subtract off your 9 and your 49. And then divide that by negative 42. So we are just streamlining that math that we have to do. So negative 33 divided by negative 42 will give us a positive 785, etc. Leave it on your calculator. And now do the inverse cosine. Pull back that answer. So we've got 38 degrees. All right, and then angle C is a piece of cake because we're going to subtract the other 2 from 180, which will give us 120 degrees. Now let's look at some real life situations where we can use the law of cosines. So scientists can use a set of footprints to calculate an organism's step angle, which is measured of walking efficiency. So the closer the step angle is to 180 degrees, the more efficiently the organism walked. So the diagram at the right shows a set of footprints for a dinosaur. Find the step angle B. All right, so you can think of this right here. This is right foot. This right here is left foot. This right here is right foot. So we're looking for this step angle. And notice it said the closer it is to 180 degrees. So see how wide that angle is? So that is the angle that we want to find. I'm just going to name it theta. And we've got side, side, side. So I'm going to say that 316, because that is my side length that's across from my angle theta, equals, and then my other two side lengths, so 155 squared plus 197 squared minus 2 times 155 times 197 times the cosine of theta. All right, so we've got big numbers. So we got 316 squared. I'm going to do the math. You pause the video, do the math on your own, and then come back and check your answer with me. So this dinosaur has a step angle of 127 degrees, which I think is pretty efficient because it's pretty close to 180 degrees. Now let's look at another real-life problem. So we have trapeze artists. The two trapeze artists are both 5 feet long in their bodies when hanging by their knees. One is hanging on a bar suspended from a 12-foot long wire. The other is hanging on a bar suspended from an 8-foot long wire. So you can imagine here would be the bar, and then here would be our trapeze artist suspended. And then down here, and our other trapeze artist suspended. So the two are 25 feet apart. The flyer on the left is preparing to make hand-to-hand contact with the catcher on the right. At what angle will the two meet here? So we're going to add up their length. So we've got 5 feet, and then wire is 18, so 13. Let's see if I can get this to right for me. And on the other side, we've got 5 and 12, which is 17. So side, side, side. So let's look for that angle. So we'll set it up. Our length that is across from the angle is 26. So 26 squared equals 13 squared plus 17 squared minus 2 times 13 times 17 times the cosine of theta. Now I want you to pause the video and solve for theta, because I'm sure you're getting good at it, and then come back and check your work. So the angle that those trapeze artists meet is 120 degrees. So check your work and look and see if you did not get the same answer, where your mistake occurred. Next, move to the independent practice. So once again, pause the video, work the independent practice problems, and then come back to check your work. To get to the measure of angle A using the law of cosines, you probably figured out that first you need to find that side length C, so that you have all three sides to use in your formula for the cosine of angle A. And then once you use that third side that you find, 25, in the law of cosines formula, angle A is 66. So you can see you need to find angle A, angle C, and side B. So I use the law of cosines to solve for side B, and then use that measurement in the law of cosines to solve for angle C. And then finally, you can solve for angle A just by subtracting C and B from 180 degrees. On number 3, you're looking for angles A, B, and C to solve the triangle. So use the law of cosines to first find angle A, and then use the law of cosines to find angle B. And then finally, just subtract those two from 180. And since the directions didn't give us what to round to, I went ahead and rounded to 10th place. If you rounded differently, that's fine. Just make sure that your answers are reasonable with mine. So that concludes the notes over law of cosines. You are now ready for the teacher talk.